I feel like there is a fine, dangerous line between considering your horse livestock and considering your horse a pet. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Strong in the Saddle. I'm your host Katrina. Today we're doing another Reddit comment section analysis, or whatever you want to call it. Today we're talking about, the title of this was, do you guys view your horses as livestock or as pets? And I think this is a really interesting question because I'll just get right into it. I feel like if you treat your horse like a pet, that can become very dangerous very fast, because a lot of people forget, yes, they are cute and we like, cuddling them and like treating them like a pet, but you have to remember that they are prey animals, they are flight animals, and they are also like 1,200 pounds. It's a very, very dangerous mix. And I think this question is important, and I'm very curious to see what people say in the comments. I have not looked through the comments yet, so I'm very curious to see where this one goes. So I will just read the initial post and then we'll go from there. I live in Kentucky, the horse capital of the world. A lot of people around me and that I know have horses and may even ride occasionally, but they're not really an integral part of their lives. Are you this type of person, or is your horse your true companion and you ride, work with, or train your horse every day? I feel like I'm a bit out of place here, especially as an adult male, as I am part of the latter. Just curious on how it is in other regions. So I will just maybe talk about what my answer to this question would be, and then we'll go into the comments. So I have two horses. One is fully retired. The other is a horse that I ride 6 days a week, most of the year, as much as I can. And yes, they are my pets, but I feel like I do not treat my horses like pets, or I treat them like a pet, but also acknowledging that they're horses. Like I have a dog, right? And my dog has no responsibilities. She is definitely my pet. I like just petting her. If she like accidentally gets in my space, it's not a big deal because she's only whatever, how many pounds. Like, I'm not really concerned about how far her training progresses. I've never really had any safety concerns with her. Whereas with my horses, I'm very diligent about like making sure they're exercised, making sure that like basic safety protocol is always followed, that they know to stay out of my bubble. I expect them to progress in training to a certain extent and then maintain that level of training. Like I have different expectations for my horses as opposed to like a dog or a cat. And I feel like that, like I don't really call my horses just livestock like I would if I owned cattle and like we owned cattle as kids. Like I feel like it's very different than that. But it's not the same as a dog and a cat. So I feel like I fall somewhere in between here. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I feel like it's not a black and white answer, I guess, is what I'm getting at. For the first person, I consider him as a pet, but it's also not my business, and he has a forever home. My horse's trainer breeds, trains, shows, and sells some, so that's more livestock. So yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I'm guessing like what my mind is kind of going towards is like whether you're using the horse as a commodity, as part of like a business, or are you using it as pleasure, or like aren't expecting it to be like a revenue generating business venture. I feel like that's more the difference, where we might consider them livestock if they're more in the business side of things versus just the hobby side of things. And I think that's kind of what this comment is trying to get to. Another person said, I don't think pet or livestock is right. I don't really have many expectations for my cats besides companionship, for instance. nor am I looking for a product like eggs or meat. Sort of similar to highly trained working dogs that can take part in skilled pursuits with their owners, those aren't just pets either. Partner? I'm not sure what the best word is. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm struggling with. It's like, they're not pets in that I'm not treating them like a dog or a cat, but they're not also like chickens that I'm expecting eggs from, or cattle where I'm raising for beef or milk. Like, it's not the same. This next comment is funny. All they said is, "They're my owners," and I think that's so funny. It's a bit of a tangent, but it's kind of like, I do what I need to for my horses. Like, they kind of own me type of thing. I thought that was kind of funny. This next one is also really, I think this kind of is like both. I choose livestock as my pet. I think that's getting closer. It's like, yeah, they're livestock, but I have them as pets. It's still not right. But that's kind of getting the vibe that I'm going for here, if that makes any sense. So lots of the next few comments are pretty short, so I'll just kind of run through them. Horses I own equals pet. Horse I work with equals livestock. Back when I had my Arabian mare, I always considered her not really a pet, but part of the family, just like my dog. Both livestock and pet. Part of the family, treated with love and kindness, concerned for their welfare and well-being every day. Most of them are pets, but the pony mule is the boss of me. More of a teammate for me. My four-legged creatures are my children in the sense that I will do anything and everything to care for them, but my mare is also my partner in the sense that all my work with her is for mutual trust and respect. That one kind of gets to me a little bit. So my four-legged creatures are my children in the sense that I'll do anything and everything to care for them. As someone who has struggled with infertility, I definitely resonate with that. Like, in this space of infertility, I definitely feel like I mother my horses, my cats, my dog, to maybe, whether that's healthy or not, I don't know, but just to fill that void, right? And I definitely, yeah, I want the best for my horses, and I would do anything for them, and I want the best care for them possible. And I don't think saying that it's designating whether they're livestock or pets, because I think people who have livestock, say like a beef cattle rancher, I know he wants the best for his cattle, right? And he's going to take the best care of them because it's his livelihood, right? And same with pets. You want the best for your pets so they live the longest, so your heart doesn't have to get broken when they pass away sooner than it needs to, right? So yeah, I don't think that's a differentiator, but just hit me in the feels a little bit. He's my best friend, but if you ask him, he'll probably tell you he's my babysitter. That might make me cry. That's Junior for me. Junior I've had since 2006, which was also happened to be a very, very, very difficult period of time in my life. I've had him since 2006. And he's seen me through so many things. And Junior also came to me, like, he was only 6, but he was very, very well trained, and I was still basically a beginner rider, and he definitely was my babysitter for many, many years. And we have this, there's just something between us, right, after that many years together and doing that many things together, that he's not just livestock. Junior's definitely something else to me. And I don't have that with Diesel yet. And I wouldn't say Diesel or Junior's a pet either. I definitely don't have the same connection with Junior that I do with my dog Sadie, which I've known Sadie for 10 years. So it's different. And maybe we'll go a little bit woo-woo for a second. There's something about a connection with a horse, right? If you've been with horses, I think you know what I'm talking about. You can have a connection with a horse that is not the same as a connection with a cat or a dog or a goldfish or a cow, right? There's something different there, and I don't know what word to apply to it. Companion, partner, best friend. There's just something different there. So that's as woo as I will get, but I just wanted to put that on the table because I definitely have that with Junior, hoping to get that with Diesel one day. Just something, it's a little something, something. Okay, and again, if this thread is full of like just a lot of short and sweet comments, which I appreciate. This person says, therapist, dance partner, athletic training buddy, friend. My horses are for life, members of our family till death do us part. 100% pets. My 2 get ridden maybe 4 times a year at this point. I delight in brushing them, giving them treats, teaching them little tricks, and taking them on walks. They are big dogs. Pets, absolutely. Both of mine are golden oldies, so I really have limited expectations of them beyond not breaking out and good ground manners. They are giant dogs I hang out with and walk with them daily. So yeah, these few comments, they're more like people who basically have horses as pasture ornaments, which I'm not in that category, which it doesn't surprise me for Reddit. I'm assuming not a whole lot of like professional equestrians are going to be sitting on the horse Reddit subreddit and talking about horses. So it doesn't surprise me that maybe the majority of the comments here are from just like the occasional rider. I'm a little bit more beyond that, I would say. So I would be curious to see what professionals would say. Because it's not like once you're a professional, you don't have a connection with a horse and they don't mean something dearly to you. Like, I'm sure like the top riders see their horses differently than say like someone who is a full-time beef rancher sees his cattle. Like, again, there is a difference there. I don't think a professional equestrian, a professional horse trainer is going to call horses pets, right? I think it goes back to that. It's part of a business. It's a money-making venture or supposed money-making venture, and they're not just a hobby. And I really think that's the distinguishing factor here. It doesn't mean you can't have feelings and that sort of a thing for those animals, because I think it's very, very hard not to. But there is still a difference there. And as I said, I'm kind of like in between worlds in that like I take my hobby very seriously, but I'm not a professional. But I'm not so far to the other side where I'm like only riding my horse 4 times a week and would call them big dogs, right? Like, I'm somewhere in the middle. So this next comment made me laugh because I'm an accountant. And so the person said, really expensive dependents. And I've always made the joke that I wish I could claim my horses as dependents on my tax return since I don't have any kids. Yeah, I really like that. I think that's funny. So if any like legislatures from Canada are listening, if we could make horses eligible dependents, that would be greatly appreciated, because yes, they are not expensive. They are expensive. They are very, very expensive. I thought that comment was really funny. So I think a lot of these comments are very, very similar. You know, they're buddies, they're best friends, they're part of the family. Their babies, their children, all those things. It's a lot of the same. I think the most frequent word that I'm seeing here is either friend or family. And I think that's probably the best spot to end with, because I definitely resonate with that. My horses are my friends. My horses are my family. And yeah, there's just something special about the horse that I don't think you can box them into. What are they, livestock, or are they a pet? So we will end it there. Be sure to follow me everywhere at Strong in the Saddle. And until next time, remember, it's always a good day to ride.